There we go. Got it. Yeah, I do like it though. Very cool. I wonder what they'll do with it. You know. Oh my god, I'm flipping. I'm okay. I'm okay. I didn't realize I could go flipping. I thought everyone else could. I seemed pretty well grounded. Whoop. Pretty cool. Yeah, it is just a tech demo. It's true. It's just a tech demo. Yeah, I like it. I like that the capability is there. That's cool. That's all cool. I would much prefer. Jeez. The frame rate is taking the biggest nosedive right now. Look at my rearview mirror. This whole thing is dying, man. You see, I would love to see a more practical use, a more video game approach. This is like a movie approach, right? It's super much a movie approach, which is fine, but yeah, I would like to see like what they would seriously do video game wise. It would be really cool. I think they could do some really cool shit. Do you think the movie will stick the landing? I honestly don't know, man. It's a big mystery to me. I have no idea. It's a tough one. I don't know. I mean, I really don't know anything about the movie. I haven't seen it. I saw like a trailer like once, and that's it. But I did get the I got HBO Max so I could watch it when it comes out. So me and the Lothire will watch it, you know, probably right away, whenever it comes out. I'm excited. I'd like to see the movie. I think it'd be cool. I think it'll be cool to see it. I don't know if it'll be good though. The introductory bit there where they turned Keanu young. It seems like when you take a movie approach to this and it's not like in control gamey stuff, they get rid of that uncanny valley look to people's faces I was talking earlier. I think someday they'll be able to make it so that becomes more normal. You know, the faces of people being rendered like that look real. I think that will be more normal. But that's kind of how things have always been. Like right there, he looks very much like his younger self, right? It's really quite impressive. But that's kind of how it's always been. When we played the PlayStation 1, there used to be cutscenes in PlayStation 1 games that we were like, wow, this looks amazing. And then in PlayStation 2, the cutscenes from PlayStation 1 could become the gameplay of some games in the PlayStation 2 era. And then the cutscenes in the PlayStation 2 almost looked like PlayStation 3. When we got the PlayStation 3, that kind of looked like the gameplay for that looked like the gameplay for PS2 cutscenes. So the cutscenes kind of led onto what the game would feel and look like on the controls up until PlayStation 3 to 4. When PlayStation 3 went to 4, there was an upgrade, but it wasn't really that dramatic. It really was like a refinement of the process. And now that we're going from 4 to 5, it feels like it's not even that much of a refinement of the process. It definitely feels like the generations, the technology isn't going leaps and bounds anymore. It's just kind of optimizing like a general hit that we're at. Yeah, 3 to 4 was really smoothing it out. That's a good way to look at it. It was smooth. It was smoothing it out, higher quality, a little more optimizing. 4 really like tried to optimize things, and it worked. It largely worked, but you know, I've always been disappointed with the PS4. I feel like the PS5 in a lot of ways is what the PS4 should have been. If I'm being honest with you, the PS5 is really the true PS4. It feels that way. Like, technological advancement-wise, it feels that way. But we haven't even really gotten a PS5 out yet, right? Like, not a lot of people still have it. It's still kind of hard to get your hands on them. And there's not a whole lot of games that are PS5 and, you know, current gen. There's not a whole lot. Yeah, Horizon Zero Dawn could be a PS3 game. You just have to dial it back a bit, and it's, yeah. Yeah, it's just the way that they make games are probably the same way that they made them back on the PS3 at this point. Maybe the PS2 had a bit of a different thing going, but by PS3 onwards, it was like, okay, now it's just refining the process and, dedicating more to that process. And this is kind of something that you can get if you could take out the gaming side of it and focus on the visual elements, making it more of a movie. This definitely shows what you can do. There have been some tech demos in the past for some other engines, for some other systems that I have seen that have been very impressive. Very impressive. In a lot of ways, I would say it's even more impressive than this. I'm being honest. It doesn't... This is impressive in a way, but I have seen something quite like this before in the past. So it doesn't really slam into me like, wow, this Unreal Engine 5 shit is amazing. It looks a lot like a tech demo I've seen before. It's much more movie-fied. There's a lot of that grainy film on it, the movie film grain. Frame rate, obviously, is leaving a dump everywhere. Even during the fucking cutscenes, it looks that way. Yeah. It's hard to get impressive. Because we've been at the... It's kind of like cell phone technology, right? You can't really get any better than this fucking thing, right? This is like this is an optimized cell phone, You're not going to get much better. You're just going to get variations on the same theme. The innovation just... There's no way to go any better with it. I feel like that's where we're at with games and have been for at least the last generation, especially now that we have a system that... really kicks out the graphics the way I think they were intended to back in the PS4 times. We now have a console that does what the PS4 should have been able to do. So I feel that we're kind of in a dead spot. Maybe it will take more than a few years to really bring out, like, a really cool thing about it. But, yeah, what you're saying, the destruction engine is a big thing. I would feel more intrigued by that than about the other aspects of this engine. The ability to interact with things. I'm trying to remember what that game was called. Lothire really loved the game. There was an old game. Was it Red Faction? It might have been called Red Faction. It was all about a highly destructible environment, right? Now that shit was tight, but the problem is that the environment looked like a PlayStation 2 set. It looked like it came off a PlayStation 2. And that's because everything needed to be interacted with and destroyed. So nothing could look good. It all looked like, cardboard pieces. Red Faction Gorilla is sick. That's what it was, Red Faction Gorilla. This destruction that we're seeing here with the cars and shit, if they could make that into the environment, I would be blown away. My socks would be completely blown off. That would be a level of technical sophistication that has not been explored yet. The ability to make things look good have been the priority of the industry for several years, but making things look good and be interactable has not been a priority like ever. Very few people seem interested in that. I think more as the tools and the things evolve, it really is more about how do we get more visual punch out of the experience. It hasn't been how do we get more mechanical punch out of the experience. You know what I'm saying? That game was made on a modded Havoc engine, I think. I don't know much about it technical-wise. All I know is that visually it suffered for being so destructive, and yet it was incredibly enjoyable because everything and absolutely everything can blow up. I think, was it Bad Company? Battlefield Bad Company had a similar situation where the environment was like fully destructible, and they did a pretty good job of refining the visuals of it to be like a PlayStation 3 type of look, which was really good. I think people really embraced that. But for some reason, it's the amount of games that make it so that stuff is interactable, not necessarily destructible, just interactable. If you run into a wall with a car, 99.9% of the games out there, nothing will happen to the wall. The wall doesn't exist. It's just a wall, that level of interaction is where I would like to see things go. I would like that. And this visual stuff is fucking great for movies, but for games, let's Let's focus on getting that kind of thing happening. That's what I would love. I'm not sure about Bad Company 1, but yes for 2. Yeah. I mean, I heard great things about it. I heard great things, but I never investigated it myself. But it looked great. It looked great, and it was cool. That's what I would like to see. I'd like to see stuff like that, because there's a lot of games that would take advantage of that. If you can play like imagine a Superman game like this, but instead of having it be like a movie, you dial back the visuals, but everything can be destroyed. You're fucking Superman, and you're fighting aliens out in the fucking sky, and you're fucking comet smash that ass down through a bunch of buildings, and not just one building, but you smash through like 2 different buildings, one through the next one, and they all collapse based on how that destruction took place. And it all looks like a modern game. It looks like something that was built in the last couple years, a PlayStation 4 title. If a PS5 could do that, while still making it look like a PS4 game, how mind-blown would you be? Like, you would definitely jump out of a window. It'd be so fucking hype. But how do you do it? I don't know how you do it. I'm not sure. I mean, the technology might be there. It's just that we're developing for visual fidelity and not so much for... I don't know. But I don't know enough about shit. I'm not sure. It could be just not flat out possible. Survival game with a big monster in a random city. Yeah, Destructible City. You could bring back the Incredible Hulk, Ultimate Destruction. You know, people love that shit. That shit was tight. Everybody loved that stuff. Yeah, it was Red Faction Gorilla. That's what it was. Cool. It's cool. It's cool. I mean, this is really neat and stuff. I look forward to the next Matrix. Obviously, this didn't help us much with, like, digesting the next movie. But I'm sure it'll be fine. I'm sure it'll be fine. It'll be a fine movie. I recently watched Venom 2, and that was a fine movie. I thought it was alright. You know, a lot of people didn't like it. I just kind of accepted it for the weird summer blockbuster that it was, and I liked it. It was alright. The Matrix will probably be pretty similar. You know, it won't be like the new Star Wars trilogies, right? It won't be the new Star Wars movies where, you know, it's complete trash. It might be like the first one where people are hopeful. It might be like the first one where it's like, wow, you know, that they delivered pretty good. It's not too bad, you know, pretty reasonable. It's a lot like what we expected, you know? Yeah, it could be like that. But hopefully it's not like the last 2 movies, which were just abysmal. Rampage featuring Dwayne Johnson. But it's the monsters fighting Dwayne Johnson. You control the Rampage characters, and Dwayne Johnson's the guy who's fucking your shit up. That's how you would play that game. You can't kill Dwayne Johnson. He's too strong. You've got to fight him as the monsters. The monsters are the underdog. Dwayne Johnson is the main villain of the movie, or the game. Yeah, that'd be tight. I'd like it. I'd play that shit. I'm getting hungry. What do you guys think? I'm ready to go. This was cool, but, you know, it's not a game. It's cool, it's just not a game. That's all. I'm interested in seeing what they do. I would love to see Devil May Cry 6 on that shit. You know, I'd love to see Street Fighter 6 on Unreal Engine 5. Tekken 8. Yeah, I'm cool. I'm down. Put all that shit on there. I'm willing to see it. You know, because really all those games come down to how do they play. You know, are they going to play good or what? The fidelity, we know it's going to look nice. You know, it's going to be this motherfucker, this smug asshole right here, right? It's going to be, yeah. But we want to play. We want our hands on that shit. We want to press that motherfucking button. We want to get some dudes' noggins bopped. You know, we want to fucking do that shit. We want to get them in the schmicks. We want to have all that movement going on. We want to play. We want to play and interact. That's where my head's always at. Fun stuff, though.